Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us on the Black Health and Wealth Show. Today our guest is the Reverend Dr. Kendrick Weaver, and today we're going to be discussing spiritual health with my good friend Dr. Weaver. So, Dr. Weaver, I know that you are a graduate of Harvard Divinity School. You've written several books. My favorite is Sleeping with God, so I have that here with me so you can autograph it when we're done.
Sounds good.
But what is spirituality, spiritual health? Can you go into some detail about that?
Sure. Well, spirituality, a lot of people, it's common for people to say today, I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. And, so a lot of people, it's a very common term, but spirituality is what I do, how I live out my faith, how I live out my beliefs. Mm-hmm. So the spirituality is the tangible things that we do in our day in and day out lives.
So when you say tangible, what are you referring to? Like,
So our expression survey. So spirituality, spirituality is the fact that some people pray every day.
okay.
So that's a form of spirituality. Some people meditate. Cooking can be a form of spirituality. Some people, for cooking, it's a spiritual experience, and they really are passionate about the foods that they eat and the type of foods. And so spirituality can be expressed in many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on who you are.
Okay, so when you're talking about the spirituality, is there a difference between, you said that there's a difference between being spiritual and being religious. When somebody says that they're religious, what specifically does that mean?
Well, for me, spirituality and religion are connected.
Okay.
I think a lot of people try to separate them, but I mean, a great metaphor that has been used in the field of spirituality is religion is the body, and spirituality is the heart. So, just like the heart needs the body needs the heart. So both of them are, they work together. So, for example, spirituality is, every religion is birthed out of spirituality. Mm-hmm. But at some point there has to be some concrete form that you shape it in, that you have it in order for it to stand the test of time. So they really go hand in hand. Jesus, the Christian religion has this Christian spirituality, but it's also a Christian religion.
Okay, so now speaking of Christianity, you have a lot of people that will say that I pray, I go to church, on a regular basis. Where does meditation fall into that? Because a lot of folks, especially in the Black community, are not into the meditation portion of their Christian journey.
Right.
So where does meditation fit into all of that? And from your perspective, how did you get into that to start with me? Because you do some things a little differently than other folks.
Yeah.
So can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Meditation, well, let's go back to like the biblical significance of meditation. One of the biblical words for meditation is Haggah, which, this notion of to meditate on the word, to Haggah, to literally to recite it, to say it over and over again until it becomes a deeper part, until it sinks into a deeper part of your heart. So meditation from a biblical perspective has always been important because it was a practice that one did in order to understand the scriptures in a deeper way. Mm-hmm. So reading the scripture over and over again, really digesting it, processing it until you understood it in a spiritual way, not just were reading it from, the literal words. So meditation is first and foremost important in the Christian tradition in knowing how to understand scriptures in a more spiritual way. How I got involved with meditation was really just trying to listen and be more intimate with God. I really started out by practicing other forms of meditation like many other people do in Eastern traditions because I didn't think Christianity had a form or a meditative practice. And as I progressed in my schooling and I got into different spiritual communities, Christian communities, I realized there was a whole tradition of meditation that went back thousands of years, particularly in the monastic tradition, the Christian monastic tradition. And once I started studying that and I got into that, I realized that this has always been there and it's just been hidden in plain sight. Some Christian communities are real in sync to it, and some unfortunately are not because they haven't learned the Christian, paradigm for meditation.